All right, welcome everybody. My name is Jennifer Stone. I'm Vice President of Segment Marketing at PacBio. And today is my great pleasure to welcome you to the first PacBio Fireside Chat. Today, I'm thrilled to host Christian Henry, CEO of PacBio, and Richard Shen, former president of Omniome and the new SVP of R&D at PacBio. As you may know, PacBio recently closed on the acquisition of Omniome, a company building short-read sequencing with unparalleled accuracy. We believe merging the teams at PacBio and Omniome will provide sequencing for customers with the most advanced and accurate technologies and fuel the next wave of scientific discovery. Before we begin, I'd like to pause and read a statement from our legal team regarding comments that may or may not be made in this presentation. I'd like to remind you that our comments today could include forward-looking statements. You should refer to our SEC filings for a discussion of the risks and uncertainties that could cause results to differ materially from our current expectations. It is our intent that all forward-looking statements regarding our financial results and commercial activity made during today's discussion will be protected under the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. And now, with the legal stuff out of the way, I'd like to introduce you to Christian and Richard. Christian, Richard, thanks so much for joining us today. I'm really excited to have this conversation with you. Before we jump into the science and the technology, help the audience get to know you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your personal journey. What brought you to PacBio and Omniome? Christian, let's start with you.
Sure. Thanks, Jen, and thanks for the opportunity today to talk to everyone. I've been in the life science business for a very long time. I spent some great years at Affymetrix in the early days of microarrays back in the 90s. And then I spent many years at Illumina building the sequencing business, had a number of different roles, everything from chief financial officer to running the life science business to running our genomics solutions group, which did all of the R&D, all of the product development to develop the sequencers. And then in my last role before I retired temporarily, I was the chief commercial officer responsible for the global commercial operation. I then decided to take a few years off and I effectively retired, was on my sailboat with my family on an adventure. You can see some of the pictures behind me, but once COVID hit and we got back to land, I was already a board member of PacBio, and the opportunity to join the company presented itself, and I decided to join PacBio as the chief executive because I felt the company was in a position to grow and really drive this technology forward. They had made tremendous progress with the Sequel II platform and hi-fi chemistry, and all of a sudden the long read platform was in fact more accurate and did more complete sequencing than the very short read platforms that were out there. And so it became very compelling. The R&D portfolio and the product development pipeline in particular is extremely compelling to me. And so the combination of those with my leadership and capability, I felt we could build a great company to serve customers around the world. And so far it's working out pretty well. So that's a bit of my journey to get to PacBio. Richard, how about yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Christian, and thank you, Jen, for having me here today. First off, I just want to say a little bit about, it's just been great to be part of PacBio, and that the Menlo Park folks have been so welcoming in terms of, and also just very open in terms of interacting with us here in San Diego. And it's just been a really great time. It's only been about 3-4 weeks, but it's been a lot of fun. So a little bit about my career. After my first postdoc, I did a postdoctoral fellowship at Lawrence Livermore National Labs. And after that, I decided the best course of direction for me was to go into industry. And that where I really landed at Myriad Genetics. And Myriad Genetics back in those days was the first genomics company that was resequencing essentially the BRCA1, BRCA2 gene, the first two predisposition genes for breast cancer. And they had developed a clinical laboratory, a CLIA lab, to do that. And there I learned a lot about how you develop a product to be highly robust, as well as clinical grade, and how you need to work with people within the organization to create those products. And from my early days at Myriad, I learned about essentially the workflow, and creating a really very robust workflow was just important, really important. And then from Myriad, I landed at Illumina, where I led the teams that developed the first high throughput gene typing platforms there. And then subsequently, the whole genome gene typing platforms that are still being used today, over close to almost 20 years later. And it's been really incredible for me to see the broad adoption of that platform. Additionally, when sequencing became part of Illumina, I led the team that reconfigured that whole sequencing workflow so that it was much more robust, much more reproducible, and easier to use. And then subsequent, after the reconfiguration of that platform, we, myself and my team, then really went and developed the applications for whole genome sequencing, as well as targeted resequencing via hybrid capture and PCR based, and then RNA-seq, not to mention, as well as now a whole breadth of applications that are available out there. And it's been really exciting for me to see how these different applications have grown over the past 15 to 20 years in the next-gen sequencing space. And now after Illumina, in fact, actually, my last couple of years at Illumina, I was involved with the early cancer detection space, where we did a lot of research in understanding cell-free DNA, its applications, next-gen sequencing applications in cell-free DNA, and how, my group actually saw that some of the very early data that indicated methylation might be the way to go for early cancer detection. And so just been really incredible, lots of fun, really great people that I've worked with over the past close to 20 years now. And Christian has been really one of those inspirational leaders at Illumina that I've been able to work with. And then more recently, about a year ago, I saw this opportunity to come to Omnium. And what really inspired me here to join Omnium was really the people here at Omnium, as well as the technology. They were demonstrating, this is over a year ago, that we're able to sequence with very high quality, over 10x the quality of what is really been the industry standard out there, 10 to 50x in terms of quality. And so I saw that with that level of quality, there are totally new applications that could be enabled simply because of the low error rates. And so I wanted to join and lead this company, and here we are.
That's fantastic. You between the two of you, the amount of experience that you bring to the table the last couple of decades, really leading the technologies that have driven this genomics revolution is just so fantastic. It's exciting to see you two come together and what's possible as these organizations move forward and really invest in bringing the benefits of the two technologies to market. So on that note, broadly speaking, I think there's a lot of questions out there about the Omnium technology. Richard, would you mind spending a couple minutes running through some of the foundational elements of Omniome, the accuracy improvements, sort of how you're thinking this technology in particular is really going to be a sea change for genomics and for the marketplace in general?
Yeah, sure. So Omnium was founded in 2013 based on the sequencing by binding technology. And over the past 8 years, it's evolved a little bit from what the initial concept was. But foundationally, the goal was always to create high quality, highly accurate sequencing. And what Omniome did over the course of these past 7 to 8 years was really look at and investigate that complete workflow from sample extraction to library creation to cluster creation, and then SBB sequencing. And what they found was that with their highly accurate SBB sequencing, they could see the errors that were coming into the process via the clustering process as well as the library preparation processes. And so the new platform that we're developing right now essentially incorporates all those learnings into the platform. And additionally, what we wanted to do was also make sure that we're able to scale the platform appropriately. And so over this past year, we've completely reconfigured the workflow in a way that allows for extreme scalability. And I think that's going to be important to the whole genomics industry, because really when you think about what's been able over the past 15 years, it's really about cost decreases in data acquisition. And we're configuring that platform, the Omnium platform, in a way that allows us to scale appropriately and drive the investments that are needed and broadly in the industry.
Fantastic, fantastic. A note for the listeners before we carry on, we will save time at the end of this for open Q&A. So if you have questions that you'd like Christian or Richard to directly address or answer, please feel free to put those into the Q&A function of this Fireside chat. And we'll try to answer as many as we can on this call. And if not, we will follow up with you afterward to see that your questions get answered. So with that, moving on to the next question. This question is really about customers. Customers are the center of everything that we do at PacBio. And so from your perspective, Christian, how does the merger of these two companies and the merger of these technologies, how is this going to benefit our customers? And how do we see us being able to really be the best partner to our customers as this field moves forward?
Sure. A couple of things come to mind when I think about it. First, we can now take a solutions-based approach to serving our customers as opposed to just a technology-based approach. And what that means is that we can help our customers solve the problems that they're trying to address with different technology, with whatever technology makes the most sense for that particular application or use case. The other thing, as part of that it gives us the power to really drive the product development and the innovation around the applications on which the technology is most suited. So for example, in the short read space, the accuracy as we've talked about a little bit already is so critical when you're looking for needles in a haystack in liquid biopsy or cell-free applications, or when you're doing highly multiplexed samples and you're trying to make sure each barcode is accurate every single time. The accuracy matters a lot, and we can focus our innovation around continuing to drive that accuracy. It should be noted that although the short read sequencing world costs have come down dramatically over the past decade or so, the actual accuracy hasn't really changed that much. And so with the SBB chemistry, we believe we have this opportunity now to drive that accuracy into the market and give customers greater choice on how they decide to use this accuracy, whether they want to look deeper than they ever could before or sequence with less depth in their targeted applications to save costs and time. And so that's actually really pretty interesting. If you go over to the long read side, we can really focus on driving the technology for lower cost, maintaining that high accuracy and completeness of the genome. And as we believe that whole genome sequencing is going to continue to become more and more critical and more routine, particularly in different clinical applications over the next decade, it's very important that we keep pushing that technology. And so to kind of reiterate here, having the ability to focus the technology in the applications that make most sense is actually a unique capability. And then on top of that, considering how we can combine these technologies in unique ways so that customers get more deeply integrated answers is going to be really exciting to see unfold. And so that's what gets me so excited about this acquisition, is we can serve our customers in a completely new way. No other company can do this, and so we're thrilled about that.
Absolutely. And I can't wait to see all the amazing discoveries that are going to come out over the next couple of years. Richard, any thoughts from your side on what the merger of these two companies means for how we're able to better service our customers and help them accomplish their goals?
Yeah, I think, one of the interesting things about being at Omniome for the past year is that we're really a scrappy startup in some ways, right? We haven't really built out that commercial organization in any way, or very little of it. And being part of PacBio, I think really gives me a lot of confidence, as well as potentially our future customers a lot of confidence, that the platform will be supported, both short-term and long-term, that there will be continual investments in this platform, and that we will see improvements over time. And so that, I think that's part of why I'm so excited about this acquisition, is that customers will see this technology be deployed more broadly, and then also additionally supported well in the industry.
Awesome. Very cool. All right, turning to PacBio, more directly, Christian, we've had a busy year as an organization, which is probably an understatement. Looking back now, mid-October, what do you see as some of the major highlights and things that you're particularly happy about in this journey that we're on?
Well, I think there are a lot of things to be excited about. I joined the company 13 months ago, and in that 13 months, we have transformed the company. It's been pretty remarkable. And the reason why we've done that is we've set ourselves towards a new mission of enabling the promise of genomics to better human health. And with that focus in mind, we've developed and created a new team with deep experience in the sequencing market. And this is across the board, both in short read sequencing and in long read sequencing. You're one of those members that has joined the team, and we're thrilled to have you. But the company before I joined didn't really have much of a commercial focus. It was very technology centric, which is fantastic, because the long read smart sequencing technology really is revolutionary and is poised to transform whole genome sequencing, I think, over the next few years. But in order to do that, we've aggressively built a new team. We've expanded our commercial organization so that we can reach more customers than ever before. And this will help us grow, and this will help us serve our customers better. And the expansion on the commercial side isn't just salespeople. It's marketing folks, it's customer support, it's collaboration support. It's a whole bunch of different areas that we can really make our way in the genomics market and become a trusted partner to all of our customers. Alongside the commercial expansion, and we've had significant expansion in R&D as well. In fact, by year end, we'll have over 700 employees, and I think we had just about 400 when I started. So in just a little bit more than a year, we've practically doubled our capability. There are also some specific achievements. For example, back in January, we announced a collaboration with Invitae to develop an ultra high throughput sequencer. And this is a multi-year effort to create a sequencer that's capable of sequencing thousands and thousands and thousands of genomes per year at clinical scale in a clinical workflow. And that partnership is going exceptionally well. The sequencing, the new sequencer and the related improvements are coming along. But what I'm really excited about, in addition to the core technology, is the relationship we've built with Invitae so that we're deeply understanding the workflow, that experience that we're getting will translate to all of our customers as we come out with new products. It will also, clearly push us well below the $1,000 genome, that kind of landmark, which a lot of people measure. But we're also developing, platforms that perhaps aren't as high throughput, but still much, much higher, more than an order of magnitude, or about an order of magnitude more powerful than what we have on the market today. And that's going to enable all of our customers in the mid to long term to be able to access this technology with genomes under $1,000. Some of the other areas on the product side that are exciting is we very quickly developed a new COVID sequencing kit, and that kit will be shipping shortly, which is really exciting. And it's a surveillance tool that we believe will be unparalleled in the industry. It's easy to use. It provides great data. It uses our highly accurate hi-fi reads. It allows comprehensive variant detection, looking at SNVs, indels, structural variants, as well as the phasing of those variants. And so really, really exciting product. And it's exciting to see how we've transformed. This will be the first application or kitted application that the company's ever produced. And this is just reaffirming our commitment to customers to giving whole solutions. And this will just be the first kit in a whole series of products that you'll be able to see over the next year or two here. We also have had a lot of success with our collaborations, particularly with Children's Mercy of Kansas City, looking at rare and undiagnosed disease. And they're trying to sequence a cohort of 1,000 kids with rare disease using hi-fi. And ultimately, their goal is to get data on 30,000 kids. And that program is well underway. I met with them just at the end of this past quarter, and the data is really compelling. It's really exciting to see what they're doing. And they're also looking to extend it into pediatric germline cancers and other areas as well. And so those types of collaborations are going to demonstrate the power of long-read sequencing, which I think is foundational to deepening our understanding of the underlying biology. That said, just this past year, a landmark of the first completion of the true completion of the human genome with the telomere to telomere consortium. We were proud to be part of that consortium, and foundational, really. I know there were a number of different technologies, but PacBio hi-fi reads really helped push the consortium to get that genome completed. And having that new reference will really improve mapping across the board. And then finally, of course, we've had these two significant acquisitions for the company. We've already talked a little bit about Omniome, but also, and I don't want to forget about Circulomics. We acquired Circulomics in July, and this is really an incredible sample extraction technology. And the team at Circulomics will help us integrate much more exquisite extraction, which will help customers get better sequencing results. And at the end of the day, our goal is to drive value to all of our customers, enabling them to do the research that they want to do, ultimately with the ultimate goal of improving human health. So it's been a big year. We have a lot more to do. It's not over yet, but it's just a real privilege to be part of this team that we're building.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Christian. It has been quite a year, and it's not over yet. So can't wait to see what's next. All right. So we have reached the end of the prepared Q&A or hosted talk. So we will be now moving into open Q&A for those of you who are joining us virtually today. As a reminder, please submit your questions into the Q&A function of the webinar, and we will be triaging those as they come in. And if we don't get to your question, we will do our best to follow up with you afterwards and make sure that you get an answer. So let's jump to our first question. So from the audience, do you expect the Omnium technology to enhance and be integrated into the long read technology, or simply add short read technology to the PacBio portfolio? Maybe Christian, do you want to start an answer to that?
Yeah, so I don't expect the technology itself to be integrated into the long read technology. However, one of the things that's really exciting is the synergy between the two teams, and we're already feeling the benefits of that. And it's in all kinds of interesting areas. For example, in dye chemistry, both are the short and long read, the SBB technology and the smart sequencing technology, both use optically based systems. And so there's a lot of overlap in terms of capability with enzymology, dyes, optics, and all of these different things. And so my belief is that we will leverage those. And one of the objectives of the integration is to truly become one company. And so I suspect over the next year, we will have teams down in the San Diego former Omniome facility work on long read projects, and teams in Menlo Park work on short read projects. And so we'll get integration in that sort of way, but I don't specifically see the long and the short read sequencing becoming one. Richard, you might want to comment on some of the things that we're looking at on the short read side, leveraging the long read technology.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this is part of the, I mean, I don't know if this is a good analogy, but I feel like a kid in a candy store right now. It's just been really interesting and cool to see the amount of work that's gone into the long read PacBio technology, and then be able to leverage all of that in both spaces. So in the short read space as well, I can imagine already a few different products that we could potentially create with the combined technologies between PacBio and Omnium, the SBB technology. And the teams are, it's just been 4 weeks since the close. They've been talking to each other. We've had some really great ideas already that have been created. And then, as you think about also, I want to go back to this comment I said earlier about workflow. It's you have to create a workflow that's easy to use and that can fit into the existing ecosystem. And I think with PacBio technology and Omnium together, we can do that in a very streamlined way.
Yeah. One of the things I would say is that we are developing products both on the long and short read side, and on the Omnium short read side, we are developing our first set of products, which we expect to get to market in the next year. And those products are really going to give us the opportunity to get engaged in the liquid biopsy, cell-free DNA type, counting type applications. But on the long read side, we're developing a whole series of new products as well. We talked about the Invitae project. We continue to improve the Sequel IIe platform, and so you can expect to see improvements to that platform. And of course, we're developing next generation platforms as well, as that you would expect to see over the next few years. That we haven't really talked about those yet, but you can imagine they have really a few fundamental core tenets. One, they're very easy to use, highly automatable. Two, they're much higher throughput than anything we've ever created in the past. And three, they're much lower cost, so that we can really enable everyone in the community to use long reads as a matter of course. And so those are some of the things that we have ongoing. Although we want to put everything together, we really need to stay focused and get these products out, because I think they're going to be very important to everyone out there.
Yep, absolutely. And Richard, to your point about being a kid in the candy store, I have to say it's been really inspirational to watch the technical teams come together and just get so jazzed about each other's technology. It's really phenomenal. All right. So gentlemen, we are at time. I have one closing question, and then we will wrap it up. So for folks out there on the line who may be interested in getting their hands on some Omniome data or early access to Omniome, what's the process for them to raise their hand and kind of start that dialogue with us?
Richard, why don't you tackle that one?
Yeah, let me answer that question. So we're in the process right now of combining the websites for PacBio and Omniome. So they both still exist right now. They're not fully integrated. So so in the future, you'll be able to go to the PacBio website and sign up for early access for the short read sequencing technology. But for the short term right now, you would just go to the Omniome website, and there should be a collaborations sign up button at the very first page. And so that's one way to go ahead and sign up for collaborations as well as potentially early access.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, great. Thank you so much, gentlemen. It was just great to hear you guys speak about your history, your experience, the technologies and where we're going. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you for your time, and thanks to everyone who tuned in. For those of you that submitted questions and we didn't address them on the phone call here, we will be following up with you. And thank you again. Everybody,
yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.